Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim, and this is another Real Ideal Gear Review. Today we're going to be looking at the Kingsbury MS4 Regiment watch. It's a field watch with a sector dial, and it is a classic watch. This watch has so many great features. It has a vintage look to it, a vintage feel to it. And so we're going to take a look at this watch today. We're going to go through all the different features that I typically go through, which are size, fitment, finish, accuracy, and then legibility and lume. There'll be some summary comments at the end, just some recommendations like where would you wear this? Is this something that could be a work watch? Is this more of a dress watch? And I will make those recommendations at the end. So let's get into this. So the box that the watch comes in is a pretty cool looking watch box. But I don't really get into the boxes because they end up in the closet anyway. I wish they would stop spending so much money on the boxes that these watches show up in, because to me it's just a waste of my money, really. I don't want them. I'm going to put them in the closet. I'll probably never see it again. But this pouch was pretty cool. The fake leather pouch with a brass button of some sort, and the watch inside was just, I think that was well done, and it matches the overall aesthetic of what we're doing here. So to me, the only thing that really was important was that one watch pouch and the watch itself. So we're going to go through the 5 things that I typically go through, which are size, fitment, finish, accuracy, and then legibility and lume. So let's get started with size. The size of this watch is really a perfect size watch. Now, keep in mind, this is a field watch. They're typically, historically, they've been smaller than 38 millimeters. This one is a 39 millimeter. It also is 12 millimeters off the wrist. So overall wrist presence, it's maybe just a touch tall, but also keep in mind, this is a 200 meter water resistant watch. So that may have some play or something to do with just the overall design and maybe thickness of the watch above the wrist. So I don't mind it at all. I think it's great. It's a very lightweight feeling watch. The leather strap that it comes with is awesome. We'll get into that in just a minute. But the overall size is great. I think the proportions are perfect. It's lightweight. The crown, I like the size of the crown. Easy to grab. It has an NH38 movement in it, so when you're unscrewing the crown, there's only one place to go, and that's to adjust the time. There is no ghost date position on this movement. So going down to fitment, the leather strap, it's a 22 millimeter lug width, and in there is the leather strap. It does not have the quick release spring bars in there. So not a huge deal. To me, this is not something I would ding them on, because I really don't, when I find something like this leather strap, or maybe it's a bracelet or a rubber strap or something like that, when I find out what really works with a watch, I don't really swap things out very much. So to me, the spring bars are nice, more for when my wife wears it. She wants to swap it out, but because it has a strap, it's going to be easy for us to share this watch if she wants to wear it, because it's easy for her to adjust on the wrist. So as far as the spring bar, quick release spring bar, not a big deal for me. The overall case design has this nice flow to it. The curvature to the lugs coming down just sets the stage for a really good snug fit on the wrist without it being tight. Again, this is a light watch, and the head of the watch is somewhat heavy. The leather strap is lightweight, but it all works together. The strap itself has kind of a wax feel to it. I just love it. It's a really, really vintage look to it. Is it going to be durable? I think so, because I think the leather is a pretty good quality leather. It's genuine. What is this? It's a genuine French calfskin leather. And it really feels like it's been kind of worked in a little bit. It's very supple, very smooth. I just really like this strap a lot. I really doubt I'm going to change the strap out, because I think it really adds what I'm looking for on a watch that's supposed to be, or supposed to have, kind of a World War II vintage look to it. So as far as fitment goes, this is an easy fitting watch for me. It has plenty of adjustment holes on the strap, so I can get it as snug as I want, or just loose. It fits perfectly for that reason. Maybe the holes could be a little bit closer. I'm always a stickler on that one, because I just think the holes are just too far apart on most watches. But this one just happens to fit me pretty good. As far as the finish goes, this is where this watch is just unbelievable. I say unbelievable because I really like the finish of this watch. You have a brushed finish throughout basically the entire watch head, with the exception of the bezel and the chamfered edge on the along the lugs, on the top side of the lugs, all the way along the top side of the case. There's a polish chamfered edge there, and it's just a fantastic design. It's got a little sparkle to it. It works for me. And the knurling on the crown is awesome. It's the right amount of grippiness. It's the right size to the crown. I just think the finishing on that is excellent as well. It has a sapphire crystal. The The crystal, I don't think is anything that you have to really worry about with a sapphire crystal, even though it's maybe just a little bit tall for a field watch. But with a sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, I think we're going to be just fine. Clean dial. The sector dial kind of a design has the quadrants on there. So it has really kind of this old school vintage 1930s, 40s. It's not really Art Deco, although it has just a little flair of maybe Art Deco in that it's kind of a squared shape. With, obviously the bezel is just one step, but that whole stepping of the case is part of that Art Deco design. So it is maybe not in the ballpark, but it's in the parking lot of Art Deco, which I find Art Deco to be one of the best designs for a lot of architectural designs and industrial designs, that kind of thing. And watches, I think, have a place in that area as well. It has a yellow second hand with yellow minute markers on there, which just pops on this watch. And again, the leather on here, I think, really is accentuating the second hand. It really complements the second hand, because over time that leather is going to patina. It's going to wear a little bit. Some of that darker brown is going to wear off. It'll be a little bit lighter. And I just think it's going to be an overall great finish for both the leather strap and then also what's inside on the dial. It's great. I think it's a very good complementary design. The handset, I think, is perfect for it. It's a thinner handset. I think it goes along with the lines of being vintage. Nothing really big and obnoxious. I kind of wish the hour hand was a little bit bigger than the minute hand, just for the nighttime loom piece. It just helps set it apart a little bit easier in the dark. But other than that, it's not a huge, again, not a big deal as far as I'm concerned with regards to the design overall. Again, just overall great looking watch. Accuracy, no issues with accuracy at the moment. It's well within spec. It's an NH38, so it does not have the day date position on the crown as you're pulling it out. So there's only one position to pull it out to, and that is to change the time, which is great. Another bonus, I think, because you don't have to deal with the day date component of adjusting your time. It does have hand wind and hacking. It's a 3K movement. So as far as accuracy goes, I don't think this is going to be an issue with this watch. Again, I'll monitor it over time and just see how well it handles kind of the day-to-day activities. This is going to be a watch that I probably won't wear to work because of the leather strap, but I'll be wearing it around quite a bit. So I think it's going to get a lot of good heavy use as a watch goes. So just overall accuracy, good. Legibility loom. Let's talk about that. Legibility is off the charts. I mean, you can see the clarity of the dial, the numbers, the markers are really well done. The hands are really well done. It's really easy to see. High contrast. Not a lot of text on the dial. Kingsbury is at the top there by the 12. And then you have at the bottom, you have, what is it, automatic and Regiment at the bottom down by the 6. So not a big issue at all as far as what's on the dial. And the sector part of the dial, the crosshairs of the dial, I think really add to just the focus that you have on the dial itself. So I think overall it does a great job on legibility. No issues. Matter of fact, I think this is one of the more legible watches. And again, the 39 millimeter, it's just a little bigger than the 38. It's a little smaller than my SWC bunker, which is actually a bigger watch. And I like the bigger watch because it's legibility wise, it's nice. But I think this size, this 39 millimeter, is going to be the sweet spot for a field watch. Loom, it is average. It's nothing spectacular. It does make it through the night, barely, as far as loom goes. So you're going to get a good 6 to 7 hours of loom. But that 6th and 7th hour is going to be weak. I had to put my glasses on. I could still read it. I could still tell that there was loom going, which is great. I mean, that's all you can ask for to make it through the night. But it's on the borderline. So this is on the bottom end of, making it through the night kind of thing. Well, there you have it. This is a 10 out of 10, the Kingsbury MS4 Regiment Field Watch. I think this watch is outstanding. This is one of my favorite field watches that I've come across. It has a little sector dial action to it. It has field watch and World War II vibes to it. A great leather strap. It's easy to read. Good loom. Nothing nothing too exciting, but it's solid loom. It gets you through the night. There's all kinds of great features to this watch. And this brings me to the next question for you guys to help me with, and that is, what are some of your favorite field watches? Put those in the comments down below, because maybe we can have a conversation about that, or we have a review on a watch like that coming up in the future. So put those comments down below, and I'll catch those later. So there you have it, 10 out of 10, the Kingsbury MS4 Regiment Field Watch. It is an outstanding buy, less than $200. I highly, highly, highly recommend this watch. I actually wear this watch so much that I have to make sure I take it off and wear some of the other watches that I have because I like it so much. So there you go. This has been another Real Ideal Gear review. My name is Tim, and we'll catch you next time.